And we're back with another episode of the Pals Podcast. I am your co-host, Danny Galarno.
And I am your other co-host, Ricky Liordi. And this is our monthly catch-up.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done this, and the next time we do this, it'll be after my birthday and after our big Europe trip.
Which is crazy that it's already August.
It's actually insane that...
Like, this will be released 2 days after my birthday.
Yeah,
and then the next
nuts.
one is your birthday.
Should we talk about your birthday right now on air? Hash it out on what we're doing?
I
We said we were going to talk about it earlier.
I know. I don't think anyone really cares to know.
That's fair.
And nor does, like, my brain. My brain's fucked and, like, what?
Noted. Danny's brain is fucked. Appreciate that, Danny. No, but we were actually going to talk about, we actually kind of made a set agenda for this one because a couple cool things happened in my life, and Danny's obviously a big part of my life, so she sees a lot of this. And I guess we'll start with like recent TikTok success.
Okay, yeah. So let's just put it, you have to set the scene that back in June 15th, around that time, June 18th, you're around, I would say, 225,000 followers.
No, 243.
243. Okay.
But I was like stagnant there.
Yes,
like between 230 and 245 was like this whole year.
It wasn't like a big jump. Like, you were slowly going, couple hundred followers here and there, never in the thousands on a daily. Zach Bryan comes around and you're literally like, I'm going to hit 250 soon. It's picking up.
Yeah.
And this is right around the time that you hired Jess.
Literally, I hired
which is
Jess
just
like a day
like
before.
Random crazy timing. Like, I think she's helped you so much over this too, but I think you were already on like an upwards pace around then too. And you're like, okay, what do I do for 250,000 followers? Like, I don't want to do a party in balloons. I don't want to do something like that. Like, what do I do though? Because this is a milestone, which it is.
It is. It's fucking like 250,000 people's a lot.
And then you're brainstorming kind of back and forth. And then a week goes by, not even a couple days, I feel like. You hit 250. Couple weeks go by. Now you're at 275.
Yeah.
Then you're at 300. And now you're upwards. I think I checked yesterday. You're at like 325.
Yeah. Up.
Like even higher than that?
I think I'm 326, 327.
Okay,
right now.
basically 325. Like, I'm averaging out right here, but like insane the growth within a month. So we're recording this last week of July, beginning of August, releasing next week. So next week you could be at 345, 350. Like by this rate.
I've started to slow down now. And anyone who does social media knows that there's like the highs and the lows. And when you have a video that goes viral, you have to just keep going. And I had the quotes that went viral, mid-June, late June. And then I just like, I've done 40, 50 quote videos in the last month.
Yeah. No. It's literally insane.
So now they're starting to taper off. Like, none of them are doing 1 million anymore. They're doing like 100,000 here, 100,000 there, maybe like 50,000 here, 50,000 there. But none have really gone mega viral like the first kind of handful did. But yeah, it's literally nuts. Like, even on Instagram, I was at maybe 125. No, not even. Maybe like 115, 120 max. Now I'm close to 160.
It's just that fast growth that you see in people sometimes. Like, I feel like you had a pretty steady up and coming. Like, you started at 0, went to 30, like 50. Then you had those kind of like milestones. And then it steadied off.
I've never had like
a growth
a
this quick.
6-week span of this much.
But you can see now why other people, like, I'm going to say in the US more, just because some of these kids or other content creators have literally jumped up so quickly. And you're like, how the hell do they rise to like fame so quickly? Or how do they get this? But sometimes it's just those, you're there at the right time in the algorithm. Your video, your content was good, what people wanted, and it worked.
It's wild to think, fuck, Danny, get it together. Like, can you not put your phone on silent?
I just did.
Like, are you a fucking child? It's like, this is our first podcast together?
No, I'm just having...
Danny's brain's not working today.
No,
but it's actually crazy. Like, I think about it, whereas I was in the 240s for, I think, 2 months. And I was getting like maybe 50 followers here, 50 followers there. Nothing was slapping. Nothing was hitting. And then all of a sudden, I was like, bam.
You know what?
300.
I didn't tell you this because I was going to save it for today. We're at the cottage this weekend. My cousin's boyfriend's like, I'm really sick of seeing Ricky all over my Instagram. I said, what the hell's your algorithm? Like, your algorithm, like...
You're not my target audience.
Not your target audience. And then me and Kat started dying of laughter because it's Kat's boyfriend. And he's like, no, it's the Nivea ads.
Oh, the Nivea
and I'm like,
ads,
okay,
yeah.
so you know what? That's actually doing its purpose.
Yeah, Nivea ad's done like a couple million views, I think. And Petro-Canada, my TikTok Petro-Canada ad did 2 million views in a week.
Oh, that's unreal.
Like they paid for it, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, 2 million views, Petro-Canada ad.
But no, like the Nivea one, like my cousin said that. I'm like, because at first I got worried. I'm like, Kat, like you got issues here.
Yeah,
like what's happening?
If a man has seen my content
In a steady, healthy relationship. Because right now I would say your
no, but even
content,
just in general, it's still for women.
Yes, but right now especially though, your content is, I would say more on like there's like sad but uplifting.
Yeah.
Sad but uplifting.
But it's still like all my audience is still women. Like
yes.
if a man who doesn't follow me is seeing my content on a consistent basis, you know there's something up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been crazy, and we're doing the 300,000 steps next week. So I'm starting with.
Did you ever think, now that like we're here, did you ever think to do something differently just now because of like, yeah, 325, like, and then you like 325 is way too hard for steps.
Even to be honest, I should have capped it at 250. Like 250.
So you should have announced that 250 and then just done it another week.
Yeah, and it would have been a lot more reasonable because 3 is really hard. I'm like starting to get a little worried. Like I walked at the mall Saturday and Sunday, and I only did like 25,000 steps each day. My legs are really exhausted.
It's I think it's like when you think about it in one day at a time, it's like, okay, one day you could probably do the, what is it?
43,000.
43,000 steps in one day. I could see you doing that easily.
Yeah.
But the next day you need a break. You're a bit tired. You're a bit more slow. Maybe the day after too, you maybe hit 30, not 40. But then like the day after that, you're like, hey, you got to push. So it's like, you really have to.
So the plan is to do the 3 days where I'm not working or anything.
Like
so I got Monday, Saturday, Sunday.
50,000.
50,000 each of those days.
And then so you have leeway during the week.
And then during the week it's like 40,000.
But I told you, whoever's listening, my plan was for him to book golf meetings. It's not like you don't have golf things.
But I hate walking at golf though. Like
well,
I get it, you would do the steps,
but guess what? Get your steps in.
But I'd rather just like walk 2 hours in the morning, go at lunch.
No, I know, but this is like instead of you sitting at your desk or you having a lunch meeting.
But it's not the same. I can't just take off 5 hours in the middle of the day. Like 2 days, 2 or 3 of these days. Like then I get
at least one of them.
You get zero work done.
Okay, well at least one of them.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll try and do something. The tricky part is too, I also have the Jays game that Thursday.
Doing what?
I got invited to the Jays game by Mill Street. So
well, you still haven't done your 9x9x9.
Can't do it on a Thursday. It's too expensive.
You gotta do it Tuesday.
You gotta do it on a day with the dogs are $1. But yeah, so doing 300,000 steps that week. Really excited for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Obviously, it's just really, really tricky to do.
Shout out to Andrea and Sophia for coming up with the idea.
Great idea. I think
can't even claim it as my own because my sisters came up with that.
They did, and it's it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm starting with a half marathon to start the 300K. So I'm doing a marathon half marathon the Monday morning because that also scratches off one of the marathons.
Did anyone join you for any of these like bigger ones?
So George and Phil are gonna run with me the half marathon.
Okay.
So that's give or take 30,000 steps right there. Mm-hmm. And then throughout the rest of the day, I could probably do another 20,000, just like between friends and walking around and doing shit. So happy about that. Then Tuesday, someone wants to walk with me Tuesday evening. Wednesday, I don't have anything. Thursday, whoever I go with the Jays game, I'm going to make walk with me. Friday, I don't have anything planned. Saturday, Sunday, I think I'm going to do a half marathon on one of those days. Haven't decided which one yet, but I'll figure it out because then I get 5 half marathons done and I'm in a good spot.
Yeah. So
we'll see how I feel. We'll see how the legs and the knees hold up. A little worried, but we'll make it there either way.
It'll be fun.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot. But it's also, again, it's a cool celebration. I'm also donating $3,000, $1 for every 100 steps to whatever charity the person I'm with is like, means something to them.
You know what? One of the days you're not running, count me in even in the morning one day and at night one day.
Okay. I'll book you in. We can either do downtown or Vaughan or whatever. When the walks I do at night, I want to do like a 2-hour walk somewhere to like a restaurant and then a 2-hour walk back. So I don't know, maybe find a good restaurant in like Roncesvalles and like walk there for dinner and then walk back after. So then again, like you can eat when you're walking that many steps, you can eat whatever the fuck you want. You know, if you're walking 4 hours in the evening, you can eat a burger, french fries, and like a milkshake, and it doesn't make a difference. So we're gonna do that. And like super excited. I think there's a chance, like maybe not, but there's a chance I had 500,000 followers on TikTok by the end of the year. if I could somehow maintain this, which I've already started dipping, but how wild would that be?
I love you, Ricky, but I'm going to say this. So I was actually, me and George joked around about this. I support all your TikToks. Most of them, if you go back, I've liked all of them. Sometimes I throw in a comment here and there, but I can't watch them anymore.
That's fair.
There's like a certain ones and like other ones I'm like, but I'm still going to support. Happy for what you're doing.
Like and keep going.
But I'll like and keep going.
Just like and keep going.
Because I just know you, I know you too well.
On Instagram, you're literally one of the first people that likes any of my shit.
I don't know why, but I feel like it's because I was thinking about this. I'm like, maybe we're on like the same break schedule.
I start posting every day at like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So maybe that's it.
Because like I'll like take out my phone, open Instagram, like, and it's always you posting. Oh, Ricky posted 30 seconds ago. I'm like, fuck, again.
Yeah, you don't want to not like because then you feel like a dickhead.
Then I'll forget if I don't go back to it. But like, it's obviously you. Like, it's not like I'm sitting there like trying to think like, oh, I don't want this guy to see I liked it first. Like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
That's fair.
Did you see? Because this is totally off topic. But on Instagram, like the new feature, you can go to the top and see friendships with people. So I can go in here and see our friendship when we followed each other. How many likes, how many things you've liked of mine, how many things I've liked of yours, how many comments you've put on mine, how many comments I've put on yours.
That's kind of cool, actually.
And you can see the friendship. So I went on, but I by accident unfollowed Becca by doing that. Because like, oh, I wonder what year we followed each other. But then like ours definitely was not legit. Cause hers said like 20, like she followed me in 2017. I followed her in 2019. We were friends the whole time.
Maybe accidentally unfollowed.
But it was like one of those probably like we were trying to test something out. And then today I actually just unfollowed her. I texted her like, hey, sorry, you're going to get a follow request. But it's kind of cool to see. Like some people have been in your life for like how, like since you've had Instagram.
Well, it's like Facebook friends, right?
Yeah.
How you can see
like
your friendship on
your
Facebook.
Friendship.
Same thing. That's actually
But like
cool.
this one you can actually just individually go. But like the whole, some people are, I saw this on TikTok actually, and some of the girls were being toxic about it.
What's there to be toxic about?
Like one girl was like, if you really want to be toxic, go on to like, let's say you don't trust the guy you're with. And he goes, oh, I just met her like here. Or, oh, she's like a long-term friend. You can go and see like how, what pictures, what he's commented on, and like their friendship. I'm like, that is pretty toxic. But I've never done that. I've never creeped anyone's phone but yours. I swear on my life.
Okay. Anyways. I guess this kind of transitions us into the next part. A lot of my TikTok viralness has come from these quotes. A lot of these quotes are about heartbreak and being single and blah, blah, blah. And I think we announced it on the podcast that I was dating someone a while back.
Yeah, I think so.
Casually. Anyways, I was dating someone. We obviously broke up. It inspired a lot of this content that I was doing. And we only dated for a hot minute. But it inspired a lot of the quotes. And then once you start seeing quotes too, you start getting a lot more quotes. So like even now I'm getting so many. But yeah, it's something that it was interesting. This was the first relationship I've had in 4.5 years, give or take. And even though we only dated for a hot minute, it's one of those things that left a big mark on my life. And obviously, like, you know, recent TikTok success has been great. The new project that we're obviously going to talk about after has been great. But those are like the highs of the breakup. The lows of the breakups are like fucking miserable.
So this is my first breakup that I've seen you go through.
Yeah. It's not your breakup. It's my breakup, but yeah.
I just said that.
You said this is my first breakup I've seen you go through. Anyway.
Oh, this is the first breakup I've seen you go through.
Yeah.
And so like, I think it was definitely like
it's just that you've never seen me like this.
As a friend, I have never seen you at such a high, and I saw you at such a high during this relationship, but also at such a low.
Yeah.
And I was like, this could go two ways. And I also find this is like from a girl's perspective, I don't have many guy friends that would like be so honest with me about their breakups. And I respected it versus like guys that you're like casually friends with, you don't see. So I saw like a different side of you, and like from like a male perspective that I'm like, oh, guys still go through this just as much as girls do.
It's funny because every guy like, oh, if you get dumped or whatever, and I got dumped. So any guy that's like, oh, like I don't care, I'm just gonna go fuck bitches, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, that's not it at all. Mm-hmm. Like, if you want to go and do that, like, it's actually crazy. This is the longest I haven't had sex in, like, I think my adult life or something. Like, it's actually fucking insane. And maybe this is too much information, but whatever. Like, this is one of the longest.
Sorry, Elaine.
Yeah, sorry, Elaine. This is like the longest I've gone in my entire adult life without sex. Because it's just, what are you going to go do? Just have sex with a random person that's meaningless and just try and get over your ex. And we know that doesn't work. We know, like, I think it's actually scientifically proven that how to get over someone is to get on top of someone else. Doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So this is the first time.
You have to work on yourself. And I think that's one thing that, like, I truly believe you cannot be in another relationship. You cannot be with someone else. Whether you can't be we've talked about so much about being your best self, but unless you are out of that relationship mentally, you cannot move on.
Well, and the problem is a lot of people do that, but then they realize that they're not ready to move on and they miss their ex, and then you end up just hurting an innocent bystander.
Yeah.
Like, I've done that in one of my previous relationships when I was, in my 20s, where I dated someone when I wasn't over my ex, and, I broke this poor girl's heart for no fucking reason. This is a poor innocent bystander that met a guy that she liked, and I broke her heart for no reason at all. Mm-hmm. Like, again, obviously there's a lot more to the story than just that, but essentially that's what it comes down to. And that's what you do when you date somebody, when you're not over your ex, or you start to get in another relationship. It's just like, it's stupid. It's stupid and it's selfish, and it's rude to do to other people.
I'm going to ask you this, now that we're just in relationship breaking up topics. Oh my God, I just blanked. Fuck, it was so good.
It wasn't that good.
Oh my God, I don't know why. Just then another thing popped in my head. Oh my God, it's going to piss me off. Whatever, I'll bring it back afterwards.
The brain is not on today.
Do you think people who move on to other relationships quickly, their other relationship was already ended? Like previously in their minds? Or do you think that they can just be that type of person to be able to move on from relationship to relationship?
I think the second. I think there are some people, and I know a handful of people that have no problem. Like, one day they're in love and a week later they're just, no, I want nothing to do with you. I'm on to the next thing. I think there are people that can just turn it on and off. I'm not one of them personally.
Well, no, I just think it's for me, it's been so circumstantial where I knew this was ended. So it was so much easier to get over it. And then other relationships, it's taking time.
If there are certain people, and I know some that go literally from relationship to relationship within a minute. And it doesn't mean that the relationship was over. It's just something happened in that relationship where they got the ick, or where they just fully blocked off all the feelings, and then that was it. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because that's kind of what happened in mine, right? We were madly in love, and then a week later it's like, okay, it's done, goodbye, forever, later. And it's unfortunate because I'm not that type of person. I'm not saying that she's that type of person, or I'm not talking bad about her, but she was the type where it's one day I'm in love, and a week later it's I'm on to bigger, better things. Do
you think it was hard to kind of go through this breakup at the end of this relationship? Number one, we've mentioned before distance. Distance was one thing.
Yeah, of course. Because
I think the initial closure sometimes in person, face-to-face helps, but also because it was so short-lived.
It was, do you know how I was actually telling someone this the other day? It felt like I was on literally The Bachelor. And I was just with instead of having a group of 15 people, I had one. Because we saw each other in the span of the month that we dated, we saw each other 10 days. Mm-hmm. So we spent every waking moment for 10 days out of the 30, which is, if you think about it, that's like a 5-month relationship.
Well, because you're just spending actual full on versus just going on a date for a couple hours for drinks
together, Daddy. We ended up spending 10 days out of the 30 that we dated. So it's now I know how people fall in love on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette and Paradise Island or Love Island or whatever it is. Because when you spend that much time together, you have that connection. You have every waking moment with them.
Yeah, but it's still very quick that, especially because it's long distance. Again, I'm just being devil's advocate here to kind of talk about it. That vacation mentality.
Yeah.
You're new. You don't know each other. Weren't texting for 6 months, 3 months before. It was very quick and new, and it kind of fell into it. Am I wrong?
No, you're 100% right.
And then when you're together, you're all together 24/7. But you're also vacation mode, whether you were here, she was regardless.
It's also we texted, we FaceTimed every day.
Texting and FaceTime still the same thing. You can still act one way, be one way over there than versus in your regular day-to-day life. Does that make sense?
No, I don't think so.
I just think that there's it's when people are in relationships, they're oh, you clearly fully don't know if you're ready to be together unless you get sick in front of each other, unless you do this, do that. You never heard that?
I'm not following. I've heard it, but I'm not following yet. For me, I was single for so long, and I've dated like casually gone on dates with so many different people. And when you meet somebody that's just like the mirror image of yourself, someone that's, you know, we were the same. We're the same person. Me and her are the exact same person.
So I'm gonna step in here as a friend too. Do you really think you were that similar of a people together?
Oh yeah, we are.
I think you guys were similar
identical
in many ways of your life. Maybe some like the travel, the fitness, outgoingness. How we treated
our friends.
How you treat your friends, yes. But I also think
family,
lifestyle-wise, you guys were completely different.
I wouldn't
completely
say so. Like,
different.
Like we both like certain things.
She came to me and said, "Oh, I can't live with you in your condo." Like lifestyle way that way. Like, it's not bad things.
Yeah, see, but Dan, you also over-exaggerate things a little bit, respectfully. And am I going to live in that condo the rest of my life?
No. No, but like little things. Like I don't know. Like I still think that you're so set in your like. You obviously want to live away from Toronto, but I still think back in your head, Toronto's still going to be your home base.
Toronto will be home base, but it won't be like forever home. You know that. Like this winter, I'm going to plan to spend
of course
6 weeks in Florida.
Of course, but I think this will always be your home base.
Home base, yeah, but not home. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never plan on being in Toronto for more than like a month every day straight. Like even now, Toronto's technically my home, but I'm in Vaughan more than half.
Yeah.
So, but the obviously the relationship sparked a lot of the TikTok content, and you know you wait a little bit before you post some of it because you're fucking heartbroken originally, but then you post some of the content, and even like when you know obviously you spoke to her, it's funny because making content about a breakup is almost therapeutic because you see other people going through the exact same things you're going through.
Well, because there's so many people online going through it, and again, like they're just scared to post, or like, why do you think we listen to like certain songs when we're going through a breakup, or you're having a good day or a sad day? Like you're watching this because you want to relate to something, and you were saying stuff that people were relating to. Why do you think we have those signs that went off? You can find them at Winners or HomeSense: live, laugh, love, this and that. Like it's little
people are into basic ass shit.
No, but again, that was something that someone saw. Like, oh, home. My mom literally bought me a pillow when I was in university. It says, "Home is where your mom is."
Your mom would buy that.
Yes, cheesy as fuck, but it's like something that people can relate to. They hear it. They want to hear. When they're sad, they either want to keep making themselves sad or find a way to make themselves happy. Those little words, like people like that. But okay, question to you. Now that so you obviously waited a bit before posting things, and things were obviously inspired by what you were going through. But I think it's because, again, you were scrolling through your pages, finding these quotes too, and maybe reading stuff that were like relating to you. Since then, how much of it can you like really like connect to your breakup? Like, I know it was inspired by it, but like obviously people around you, like a lot of people didn't know that you guys broke up for a long time. Yeah. And then most
people don't even know I was in a relationship. Like, we never hard launched other than like our close family and friends. Like not many
but
people
like but even some of your close friends you didn't tell for a while.
Yeah.
Like people weren't talking about it openly. People were posting even to like, I feel like last week I've been getting messages through people being like, "Hey, is Ricky okay?" Checking in on you. Like, I'm like, yeah, he's good. But again, cause you're dragging it kind of out for.
It's not that. It's just you have to. There's me, the person, and then there's me, the online social media content creator. And part of like, there's some things that I made like a month ago that just haven't posted just because it's been in the back of the drafts. And now that it's like time has obviously passed since the breakup, it's a lot easier to post things, and like I can get back in to character and make this content.
So that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, is it going back into character for it, or is it like dragging out those feelings still from?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but it's also
because you were saying before I was therapeutic to you.
Yeah, it's also like creating content that people want, right? It's a double-edged sword. Like you make things that you want to make, but then you also make things that other people can relate to. We've always said, like, my content on TikTok has always been, people should watch and be like, fuck, him too? Like, really? This fucking asshole is going through the same thing I'm going through? Or this motherfucker is dealing with the same shit I'm going through? That's the idea behind it. And while some things are, exaggerated truths, we've said, some things are stories from friends, some things are personal experiences hypened or like livened up a little bit. So some of them now, it's like, hey, I just fucking love this quote. Like I think this quote is amazing. Like I resonate with it, or I resonated with it. And even, the new project, there are parts where I'll read something now and be like, holy fuck, like I remember feeling this so hard a month ago, or 2 months ago, or 3 months ago, or 4 months ago, or however long ago.
I was saying, like, are you bringing, like, for this, we'll talk about the new project after, but so I'm not even going to go there. Just kind of bringing emotion in from, like, even 4 years ago, 6 years ago.
Well, it's funny because some of the quotes are obviously the heartbreak ones, like the ones where you talk about being heartbroken or being dumped or whatever, like slap a little bit harder because, like, misery loves company. But some of the, like, you get there and you read it and you're like, fuck this. I know this feeling. I just felt this feeling, a few months back.
Does any of the content you're making put you like a step back?
Yes and no. Sometimes you see cute fucking videos and you're like, fuck, like have I showed you the video I was going to use to launch our relationship?
If it's the one you made the first weekend,
No,
I don't want to see it.
I had a better one. I don't even know if I have it anymore, but I had a video and like, I randomly saw a video that used the same song and it was a couple and I'm like, fuck, like seeing shit like that. It's like, damn, I missed
the one by the pool.
No, that was a different one. Shut up. But yeah, it's like, obviously you still miss people. Like even though it's such a short period of time, it leaves such a lasting impression. And I even talk about this like with other people. You can date someone for 2 years and get over them in a month, literally a month.
A week sometimes.
A week, yeah. Some relationships you just get over quickly.
Some take years.
Some you can date for a month or 2 months, and it could take years to get over them. And some people you cannot even date and take years to get over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah. So it's one of those things right now, like especially with like a lot of the quotes, a lot of them are related to being single or being heartbroken. And you get like, how are you single? Why are you single? And like, I just want to tell the full story. Obviously, you want to be tasteful and you want to be like mindful. And
I also think you want to be respectful.
Yeah,
I've
deleted basically like all her comments from my pictures. Like I've deleted all my comments from her pictures. So like, there's no like, unless you knew her or I introduced you, you would have no idea we dated. Which like I personally just like because I like to keep my shit separate.
I just think you both weren't private people, so
yeah, and it's also tough because like you see things after, and you like me, I automatically think the worst. I'm like, oh, she's doing this, like, oh, I was right about that. It's like maybe I wasn't, and like
maybe you were.
Maybe I was,
because like know. I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason.
Agreed.
Whether it's good things or bad things, everything fucking happens for a reason. There's a way to get over them.
I 100% agree with the first part too, and the second. But everything happens for a reason. I wholeheartedly believe. And
it's so again cheesy as fuck. But if it's meant to be, it'll be.
Yeah, and sometimes people are put into your lives to show you something, and it's like everybody's a lesson. I actually made a TikTok about it. It was like everybody's either a lesson. I don't know. There's 3 things. But I believe she was there. She was put into my life to show me love and to get me to do this next project and inspire and whatever.
Well, I just think, for you basically, I think mid-June, end of June, came to me and you called me. You're like, Danny, I'm not taking any more deals. I was like, you know what, Rick? That like I have a busy summer. You have a busy summer. Like, why not? And I also felt like post trips, and you were going on a lot of trips, because you were getting so busy with your TikTok and influencer stuff, that it would stress you out, and you would be subconsciously be very stressed out and take it out in ways that like weren't fully who you are. But even like the weekends that you spent with her, you would pack everything into like 4 days so you could have that time with her in full, not have to do content. So you got busier on other times. Am I wrong?
Yeah, maybe. I'm just following the point here.
Then it came to you wanting to stop taking a break for the summer. And I was like, yeah, cool, great. Then you end up hiring Jess, but at the same time start landing these massive deals. This is also around the same time as the breakup and all this content. So you could have isolated yourself completely. You could have gone 1 or 5 ways. Isolated yourself completely, gone off the grid online, gone off the grid, focus on your personal health, whatever, but just gone off the grid. You could have gone buck fucking wild. Gone off the walls. It was summer in Toronto. Summer in Toronto's amazing. The weather's been good. Could have done whatever. Traveled on this. Or you kind of did what you did now. And I think this is... you may have dealt with breakups differently in the past, but I think this breakup was leading you to this moment with your TikTok.
Yeah. I honestly, like, I'm very happy with
I don't think you meant it either.
Yeah. I think I did. This is hands down the best way I've handled any breakup in my entire life.
Really?
No questions asked.
Really?
Like, basically quit drinking. I think I've drank since the breakup like a handful of times.
Yeah.
And it's been, months now. I've lost 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And like, do you see the video of me in the cold plunge the other day?
No.
Coming out of the cold plunge, like, I look fucking thick and I'm the lightest I've been in years.
I don't watch videos when you're naked.
It's good. Like, I'm like, fuck, I was thinking, I'm like, I look thick. Why do I look so thick? And then someone's like, you make it sound like it's this bad thing. I'm like, actually, you're right. I look thick, but I'm thin. I'm like, this is good. Anyway, so like my physical health is top notch right now. Like, literally, this is some of the best I've looked in my entire life. I've focused on my content. So I've made more money this year online than ever before. My day job, things are good. Everything's great there. I've worked on a new project, which is, again, we're going to get to. And then like the pickleball thing, things are going well. So like I took what could have been a really shitty situation and I took my time to, fucking sulk about it and be a little baby about it and like cry about it.
But I think you took time to like personally get yourself back to where you needed to be and you focused on you.
Yeah.
It's like everything around you. Like, again, I would still say maybe a little isolation, but not in a bad way. It was just, it was isolation in a way, like, but not even just party, like socializing with friends. You didn't really do as much. You had your few pickleball things here and there, but that was even towards like later on.
No, I still did. I still socialized. I just didn't drink.
Barely.
We still podcast.
Okay, podcast is different. That's a hobby though. My
social life didn't change other than I wasn't going drinking.
Okay, but that's the majority of your social life.
No, it's not. Pickleball is a big part of my social
life.
Yes.
Okay.
Ryan's,
whatever. I was going to say you like isolated everything else, but focused on you, your mental health, but also your work.
No, you're right. But the biggest thing was I focused on me. I didn't focus on like, you say when you're in a relationship, you focus on us. Yes. The word us is the big thing, right? Because it's not just you anymore, it's us. When I stopped focusing on us and I started focusing on myself, it was like, holy fuck.
Okay, but again, you weren't traveling really. Other than it was mandatory travel.
Yeah.
That's a big part of your social life.
No, I still traveled. I canceled one trip.
Where'd you go?
I still went to Rochester for pickleball.
Oh my God, that's pickleball. Okay, that's different.
I still went to Guelph for pickleball.
Yes.
The only trip I canceled was Calgary, and then obviously the other one. But no, like I think this, in my opinion, of all the breakups I've ever been in my entire life, I handled this one personally for me. I think the best I could have. I did everything I could to try and make it work. It obviously didn't. Then I focused on myself. I shut down. I didn't, deal with any bullshit or anybody else. I didn't, move on to somebody else to try and forget about it. It's like, no, I took the time. I focused on my physical health. Started journaling more, started, not reading, I don't read, but like working out, walking. I started walking a lot more. And yeah, like honestly, I don't think I could have dealt with it any better.
No.
Which kind of leads us to the next point.
Yeah. Project time.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, which most of you listening to this will probably know, I am soon to be a published author.
It's just fucking wild. It is fucking wild. Out loud.
Today I was reading one of the poems and I'm like, so the book is, it's a book of poems / journal. The title, which is the first time I'm saying this now, is called Heartbreak Love, Guided Poetry Journal. The idea behind it is that I walk you through the 4 stages of love, or what I define as the 4 stages of love. And I give you a poem and I want you to write something down or write your thoughts. It's a give and take. Obviously, it was inspired by my recent relationship and my recent breakup. But journaling is something I've always done. This is the first time I ever took my thoughts and my ideas and compartmentalized them into poems. But today I read one of the poems, like when I was on the call with my publisher. And I remember writing it and I was just like, I read it again. I was like, I can't believe I fucking wrote this. A guy with the grammar skills of a 6-year-old wrote this and it fucking is great. Maybe that one was. Some of them are I'm like, gotta edit those. But yeah, I wrote a book of poems about love and it's a journal and it comes out October 22nd.
That's wild. I just like it actually like came like so quickly. Like most people take like a year to write a book.
Yeah.
And this came within a couple of weeks.
No, it was literally like 2 months, give or take.
Yeah.
And it's just wild to think that, you know, someone who doesn't speak proper English.
But it happens a lot. Like, I feel like sometimes it just aligns with what you're doing. And this is aligning perfectly with your content.
Yeah, it aligns with my content. It aligns with, obviously, like, my social media brand. Like,
I wouldn't say you're a poet, though. Let's just take a step back there for a second.
If I publish poems...
Like, you're not Hemingway.
I'm a poet. If you publish poems, you're a poet. I don't even know who
Hemingway is. Is that a poet?
I think he's a novelist / poet. If you publish a poem, you are a poet. If you record a podcast and have a podcast, you're a podcaster. I'm not saying I'm a good poet, but I will soon to be on October 22nd. I'm an officially.
I am proud of you for doing this.
Poet. Do you know what? Out of all the things I've done in the last 5 years, you know, starting an app with George and DB was arguably one of the coolest things I've ever done in my entire life. Seen my nephew being born. I didn't do anything, but that was really fucking cool to me. Why are you looking at me like that? You
were there?
Like, not when there, but like moments after. Yeah, I was there. I didn't watch her give birth, but I was there like a couple hours later. Yeah, so like that was fucking, like, holding my nephew for the first time ever was like really cool. Doing a half Ironman was insane. Mm-hmm. Winning the pickleball championship was, again, up there, one of those like highlight moments. When I submitted the first copy, even though it's not done, like nothing's fully done yet. Like, it's in the editing stages now. But when I submitted it, I was like, this is my book. I was like, holy fuck. Like, I'm soon to be a fucking published author. It's cool. Like, I got whenever I'm on calls with her, I'm like, this is so cool to me. This was not in the 2024 bingo card at all.
I feel like nothing that was in your bingo card, it's either exceeded the bingo, like your whatever you thought, or
it came out of nowhere.
Came out of left field.
Like, so the beginning of the year, some of the goals where I wanted to make X amount of dollars on social media, I hit that in like 4 months, which was wild. I wanted to hit, one of the goals was 300K on TikTok, smash that. 150 on Instagram, smash that. Wanted to do 6 half marathons and 1 full marathon, and I'm currently on pace to do both of those. The bingo card and the relationship came out of left fucking field. The relationship came out of left field. Mm-hmm. The writing the book was, I don't even know what field this came out of. And I think I told you the story of how it started. So I write down my thoughts a lot, I journal, I write down just thoughts, not poems. And I saw in like my junk mail, it was just like, hey, publish a book for $2,000. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like a lot of money to publish a book, right? Like, what if I turned all my thoughts into poems and I published a book of poems? 2 months later, it's done. Literally start to finish done. Like, mind you, I had a bunch of them already written in my journal, but yeah.
There's a fun fact, everyone. Some of these are coming straight from his journal.
Some are basically just reworded journal thoughts. So it's really cool. It's fine. Like, we just decided on the title last week. We just decided on the cover art. I think I showed you last week. Yeah, and all the things I've done this year. Like,
still gonna make fun of you, but this is really cool.
It is really fun. And I make fun of myself too. I get it. Like, I make cheesy ass TikToks. Like, I fucking get it. If I wasn't me, I would make fun of myself too sometimes. Like, especially in a chirping, like, friendly manner.
Yeah, but not mean. Like, funny.
It's friendly. We chirp our friends, right? This has got to be one of the coolest things. Like, when it comes out and I get to hold my own fucking book.
I hope it sells a lot. Like, I want to like start like doing like book signings everywhere because I'm coming.
So I'm literally planning on doing like full off. First off, I want to do a bunch of the Indigos in Toronto, but a lot of them like are like, they only do like cool authors, which I'm not like a cool author. I'm just like a social media star.
Because you're not an author. You're a social media star.
Yeah.
But then you're going to, you never know.
But in the States, there's a whole bunch of like smaller, like local independent bookstores that I plan on doing like.
Oh my God. Like, why don't we, why don't we in like the Hamptons? That'd be cool.
The book comes out in the winter though. Sorry. This is my winter project, by the way. Like, it comes out October 22nd. Summer's basically done. Mm-hmm. Then I plan on going to a whole bunch of book festivals. I plan on reading at book conferences. I already know, like, there's a lot of like book conventions where I already have my topic I could speak on using social media to promote your work. Boom, easy. Then big pushes for Christmas and Valentine's Day. So I have personal goals of how many books I want to sell. I'm not going to say them yet just because I think I'm out to lunch with them, but I think you should have big goals because I've been crushing a lot of my goals so far. So we'll see after. Pre-sale is going to go on sale September 6th, which is my birthday, obviously. So literally,
obviously,
anybody who messaged me for my birthday is like, don't even say happy birthday, just buy the book. Here it is. That's how you say happy birthday.
do you know how much it's going to sell for?
Yeah, so in Canada, it's going to be $34.99, and in American, it's $29.99.
Expensive.
Yeah, it's a little price. Well, it's a hardcover, so I could do it cheaper if it was paper, like a paperback. But I feel like that looks kind of flimsy. I want it to be on a bookshelf, and I want it to stand out. So it is a little pricey. Obviously, books don't make money for anybody thinking about that. Like, bookstores take like basically more than half your money, and then also printing them is not cheap. So books don't make any money. I don't plan on making any real money from this book thing, but I just think it'd be really cool to sell a fuck ton of books. And I think it'd be cool that like right now I'll make a TikTok and like I have had people DM me be like, yo, this like I was about to commit suicide and this like video like I started watching your videos and then I'm 10 videos deep and then I decided I didn't want to kill myself anymore. I'm like, holy fuck. Like maybe it's a little exaggerated on their end.
But again,
but seeing something like that, you're like, holy shit.
That's
like,
also the life of influencers.
Yeah.
Like that's why people like, I know you're a content creator, whatever, let's call it like it is. You're an influencer. You can influence people's days.
Yeah.
That's why people pay you to do ads and buy your product that you like endorse and all these kind of things because you can affect the general public. Alex Earl posts something. Oh, I really like these earrings from Amazon. Within 5 seconds, they're going to get sold out. She posts another thing. Like everyone's going to go buy that makeup product. You're going to post a quote that could help someone in a way that like you don't realize. But that's the whole life of influencers. Yeah. You influence.
If this book can help like young people going through like hardships, and again, the idea of the book is that it'll walk you through different stages of love, and it'll give you basically like prompts, which are poems, to give your own insight. It's like I'm giving you a piece of my heart. I want you to give me a piece of yours, and it's like a give and take. And it's like, well, honestly, I read it back, and I'm very proud of it. Maybe some people might think it's shit. If they do, that's fine. I don't care. But I'm really proud of the work I've done, considering I'm not an author, I'm not a writer. But yeah, I'm really fucking proud of it. And I can't wait for it to come out because once it comes out, then it's like the fun part. Like, you know, I get to like maybe do a book signing or something, or maybe I get to read it to like, you know, I don't know, a bunch of,
what if
like a divorce class. Maybe I go to divorce class and start reading these or something. I don't know.
What if you like go to like this book becomes so big that you get like called to like go to universities?
I don't think I would.
What if it gets studied?
Okay, it'll never get that. But like, come on, let's call space.
You never know.
Okay, but like, it's not gonna get studied. But you know, I think it would be really cool if it.
Oh my God, down the line, poet Ricky Lee. And then what if you have to write another book because people liked it so much?
That would be crazy. Like, I think this is a one and done. I don't know, but I had fun writing it. Like I told you how I did it. Like I basically wrote 4 a day, one for each chapter for like 2 months, give or take. And I got it done. Some sucks. I had to delete them. Some sounded too similar to other ones. But yeah, it was really fucking cool how I did this.
That's wild. Can't wait to read it.
I'll show you once it's done editing. So we should be done editing by the time we're in Europe. So in Europe, I'll read it to you.
Cool.
Yeah. So.
Well, congrats, Rick. Everyone, remember, pre-sale is September 6th, and the book comes out October 22nd.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a lot, obviously, next time. A different recap.
You'll see a lot of posts too about it.
Yeah, so it's but back to the whole thing is I believe the reason for my breakup was this book. I genuinely believe that's the lesson I was supposed to, like, that's what she was put in my life for, is to make me write this.
Okay, before we wrap this up, do you think you would ever go back?
If in a different time and place, maybe. Like, I'm just when you get heartbroken like that and you give it your all and you try everything, like, I don't even know if I think I told you, like, I was willing to fly to her just to like make things work. And when you get shut down like that, it's like, I'm not saying it's a big shot to my ego, but you know, I know that like the next person I date, like I won't date someone who's a quitter. I won't date someone who's, you know, never had a long-term relationship or like in recent years. 'Cause you know, when someone's got that much going for them, and she does, right? She's, you know, beautiful. She's a model. She can do whatever she wants, whenever she wants. I'm not saying I want someone who needs me, but I want someone who wants me long term, not just while it's fun. And like, this sounds so bad and so like vain, but like, look, in the winter when there's not much happening, it's easy to date the hot guy from a different country who's, you know, you're gonna have these like mini vacations with, and you're gonna like do a lot of really fun shit. And I plan everything too. That's how I am. But then, you know, spring comes along and there's like summer's here, or, you know, Europe this, Europe that. Like, it's easy to not want a relationship. And I get it. So
well, that's why everyone says, like, what is it? Cuffing season? And then,
cuffing season's in the winter time.
Like,
and, you know, spring and summer rolls around. It's like, all right, yeah. No, thanks.
No.
So in a different time and place, I would. Obviously, like, she had a lot of the qualities I wanted in a partner. There's some qualities, obviously, I didn't. But overall, like, I thought she was an amazing person. So it's unfortunate it had to go that way. But I don't, like, I look back, and every relationship that ends, you look back and like, what did I do wrong? Like, what can I have done differently? And there were minor things I think I could have done differently, but overall I wasn't, I don't believe I was a bad guy. I don't believe I did bad shit. I was overall pretty good. Where some of my exes, I was like, okay, yeah, I did some shitty things. Like I said some shit I wasn't supposed to say. One of my exes, like, I remember saying shit that purely like picked at her insecurities. And I knew that cut deep, and I knew that was shit that she wouldn't heal from quickly. But sometimes you're hurt, and that's what you say. Mm-hmm. This time I don't think I did. So, yeah.
Well,
I feel like this is the first like kind of scheduled episode we've had.
Yeah.
You know, where we actually, okay, we're going to talk about this, and this.
I think it's just talking about a topic. I feel like a lot of the times, I feel like we fluctuate with these episodes where we just talk about what's going on in our lives, where this actually went by really quickly, but there's so many topics, I can't even speak, topics we talk about on a daily basis.
Yeah.
That like we could literally pick one, be like, not talk about it for a week and come here. Like we could have a full podcast on the Olympics.
Easy.
Oh my God, I can't even speak.
Olympics
one day, and like just go off about that and talk about different things. But I think it was good.
Yeah, it's nice to do. And you know what? It's one of those things where, like, I get asked on TikTok all the time, like, why are you single? What about this? What about this? Or what happened to this girlfriend? Or blah, blah, blah. And then it's nice to just do it here because it's a long form platform where you can just kind of get it out. But yeah.
Woo! Now we have a great August coming. We have Europe coming up. I'm really excited. I hope you are.
We have our best friend's wedding. Like, how do you go?
How do you not get excited for that? So I'm just like ready to go tomorrow, but I cannot believe it's like literally like I leave in 16 days basically. And I am not ready. I have so many little things to do that I'm just trying to get my act together.
Oh no, I am so ready to leave. Like, I've started packing already.
I just have to like finish buying certain things.
I've literally, if you go to my parents' house, my brother's room, I've got
like I almost was like, Ricky, you need to go away this weekend to buy me something.
I'm ready to go away. I'm so ready for Greece.
Because so do you want to hear idiot me? I'm just gonna say this quickly. I found a pair of shoes that I wanted, and they're actually on sale Stuart Weitzman. Okay,
so buy them. I
go online to go buy them, and I've been putting it off. I was on the U.S. site. Canada, they only have a 7.5. So I went before the podcast to try them on. They fit perfectly on my left foot. But my right foot was a bit tight. My feet are really swollen and gross right now. Like, I have so many blisters. I'm like, fuck. The girl's like, oh, like, the leather will probably stretch and it'll be fine. Like, it'll actually probably fit you perfectly. Because the left foot was perfect. But I'm like, in Europe too, like, the heat and this, like, it's going to be hot. Like, and being in heels, like, but they were like the perfect height, everything perfect color for the dress. So now I'm just trying to find a way to get them shipped from the States to Canada. Because there's one pair left.
Yeah, I can't.
So I'm an idiot.
Yeah, that's a tough one, Danny.
But yeah, it'll all work out. Little things like that. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Mykonos.
Really excited for Mykonos. I said this is going to be the last big Europe trip we have, like our group of friends.
Well, obviously, I think but this is the time where people's lives are changing. Yeah, exactly. And things are moving along. So this is going to be the last big one. So I think everyone's kind of ready to go out with a bang.
Agreed.
So yeah.
That's it. And guys, if you watch these, we appreciate you. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you're new to the podcast, we appreciate you. We do this every week. Once a month, Danny and I sit down and we shoot the shit about our lives. Sometimes we have topics to talk about, but majority of the time we just shoot the shit. If there's any guests you want to see, hit us up, slide in our DMs. Danny reads all her DMs. I read all my DMs. And yeah, honestly, other than that, keep staying tuned. And we'll have a lot of cool guests lined up over the next couple of weeks. And that's it. All right. Cheers.
Bye.
You like to drink and to smoke to take away the pain. And I don't remember all of my and every high. Got alone with no one.